On the face of it, the final result is straightforward. Sir Keir Starmer won. Rishi Sunak lost. However, beneath the final vote count are the stories which shaped the 2024 general election. From ousted ministers to insurgent smaller parties, here are the big winners and losers from a night that upended Westminster. Liz Truss provides Portillo moment. Liz Truss became Prime Minister 668 days ago. Then, within 7 weeks, her own MPs had removed her. On Friday morning, her constituents in southwest Norfolk did the same, a fate not suffered by a former prime minister since 1935. Ms. Truss saw her majority of around 23,000 votes vanish, and she was defeated by Labour. There were only 630 votes in it. Penny Mordaunt's leadership ambitions upended. Penny Mordaunt, the leader of the House of Commons and once a candidate to be Prime Minister, saw her majority of more than 15,000 in Portsmouth North overturned by Labour. She had hoped her personal profile, generated in part by her ceremonial sword-wielding role during the coronation of King Charles III, would mean her beating the national swing against her party, but Labour won narrowly. It was widely expected she would play a big role in a future Tory leadership contest, but she will now no longer be in the Commons. Carla Denier wins as Green Party pushes on. Green Party co-leader Carla Denier unseated Labour shadow cabinet member Thangam Debonair in Bristol Central. Her party's other leader, Adrian Ramsay, was also elected in the rural Waveney Valley seat. The Greens won 4 seats overall, their best ever performance at a general election, and was on course to win around 2 million votes. Grant Shapps gone amid cabinet cull. Defense Secretary Grant Shapps held government posts for the majority of the Conservatives' 14 years in power. In the early hours of Friday, he saw a majority of more than 10,000 votes vanish, and Labour take his Welwyn Hatfield seat, becoming the most senior cabinet minister to lose. Other cabinet ministers removed from the Commons include Veterans Minister Johnny Mercer, Education Secretary Gillian Keegan, Culture Secretary Lucy Fraser, and Mr. Sunak's Chief Whip Simon Hart. Nigel Farage finally gets to Westminster. It was 8th time lucky for Nigel Farage, who was elected to the Commons for the first time, with a majority of more than 8,000 in Clacton. His comeback to the front line of politics transformed this election and saw Reform UK put on course to be the 3rd largest party in the country by number of votes, with Mr. Farage vowing to stun the electorate with Reform's next moves. The surge in his party's fortunes since he joined the fray also saw ex-Tory MP Lee Anderson and Reform co-founder Richard Tice elected to the Commons. Jacob Rees-Mogg among backbench exits. Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg is perhaps the most recognizable face among influential Tory backbenchers to lose their seat. The staunch Brexiteer went into the election with a majority of more than 16,000 votes in his northeast Somerset and Hanham seat. Before his result was announced, he told the BBC his party had taken its core vote for granted. Jeremy Corbyn defies Labour on home turf. On a night when Sir Keir hoped to confirm a definitive break with the past for Labour, his predecessor had other ideas. Jeremy Corbyn ran as an independent in Islington North, the constituency he has represented since 1983, after being thrown out of Labour over his response to anti-Semitism. Labour ran a candidate against him, but Mr. Corbyn's local popularity meant he won in the North London seat by more than 7,000 votes. Suella Braverman among high-profile survivors. One of the big questions arising from the election result is what type of Conservative Party emerges from the worst result in its modern history. Former Home Secretary Suella Braverman is expected to be one of those seeking to shape where the party goes next, along with the likes of James Cleverly and Kemi Badenoch. Speaking after her result was confirmed, she said, "I'm sorry that my party didn't listen to you. The Conservative Party has let you down." Jonathan Ashworth loses amid Gaza protest votes. Jonathan Ashworth was almost certain to be a leading figure in the new Labour government. Instead, the former Shadow Paymaster General and a key Starmer lieutenant lost his Leicester South constituency to independent candidate Shaukat Adam. The seat has a significant Muslim population, and a large part of Mr. Adams' campaign focused on the situation in Gaza. Other Labour candidates saw their votes squeezed in areas with similar demographics. Kindly like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section.